a miserable night. I know I should have worn my sheepskin lining.
You're getting soft, Jeff. An easy job like this.
Easy? If I don't get pneumonia, it'll be a miracle. I loathe divorce cases. You know that, Marty.
Do you mind telling me what you're doing here, sir?
Oh, it's all right, Constable.
Oh, is it, sir? Who are you talking to?
Myself. Helps to pass the time.
Does it now? And just why are you passing it here?
Hello. He's after promotion, this one, Jeff.
Private detective, eh?
Yes, and I'm on a divorce case. So if you don't mind, I'd rather not be seen talking to you.
Very well. I suppose we've all got a living to make.
Thank you. I've got a feeling it's going to be one of those nights. I bet we're stuck here till dawn.
Well, there's no point in both of us hanging about.
Thank you and good night.
Divorce case, you say?
Now look, I don't know anything about this. That car. The shots must have come from that car.
Car? Did you get the number?
No, I didn't.
Oh, so you're just an innocent bystander, eh?
My client's husband is in that apartment block across the road. That's the only reason I'm here.
We'll need a statement, sir. At the station.
But I'm working on a case.
So am I. Sir.
Jeff.
I'm on a case. I was on a... Ah, Jeannie.
Coffee?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
What happened? Been drinking the profits again?
What profits? What do you mean, again? You should read the papers, Jeannie. Not only was I involved in a murder last night, but I had to take the police to apartment 214 to prove my alibi.
Oh, no. Your client wouldn't like that.
Neither did her husband. He was very convincing on that point.
Oh, dear. The rent's due again.
The rent's always due. What's the matter? Won't it work?
It's broken down again.
Oh. Look, Jeannie, will you nip over the road to the restaurant? Get 2 cups of coffee.
Yeah, sure. Do you think it can last that long?
I'll try. Now, what have you forgotten?
Nothing that I know of. Are you Mr. Randall?
Yes. Oh, please. Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
I'm afraid you've caught me after a long night.
I know. I read the newspapers.
Oh, that. Now then, Miss,
Susan Lang. Mrs. Susan Lang. I want to hire you, Mr. Randall. Immediately.
Susan Lang. Well, I think we can arrange to fit your case in. Now, what's the problem?
My husband. It's not an easy thing to say, Mr. Randall, but I believe he's involved with another woman.
Have you any evidence to support this?
Well, no, not really. That's why I came to you. I'm not a demanding wife, Mr. Randall. It's just I'd like to find out if it were true.
Yes, of course.
Would it be possible for you to deal with this personally? Naturally, I'll pay a higher fee to retain your full services.
You have them.
What I really want is a complete report of all his movements, every day and night. I've listed all the information I could think of.
Thank you.
Oh, and here's a photograph. Now, as regards the fee, would an advance of £100 be sufficient?
Quite sufficient.
Well, perhaps when you have something to report, we could have some lunch.
Sure. One thing. Is there any place Mr. Lang visits regularly, a place where I could ask a few discreet questions?
Well, I suppose the Pelican Club would be about the best place. He often plays poker there. It's on Sycamore Street.
Fine. Sycamore Street? That's where I was last night.
Yes. That's why I came to you. The man who was killed, I think, was mistaken for my husband.
That load of rubbish, did you?
Oh, you were listening, were you?
I caught most of it, and I'll tell you one thing. Her aura is all wrong.
Well, it looked all right to me.
You can't see it.
Can you?
No,
Huh.
but I've got my intuition. And that lady's story has got the wrong feel about it.
Well, from where I'm sitting, it feels just great.
Who's that I passed in the corridor? Good heavens, what did you do? Rob a bank?
A new client.
I say. Coffee, sir.
Thank you. You may as well get us a new percolator.
Oh.
And we might even be able to afford your wages this week.
Thank you.
And they're away. Karen delighted the first to show at Windjammer on the inside. Then comes Fastback. Just in behind Fastback is Candy, with Royal Flush going up on the inside, and Tiny Tim not far behind. Irish Love is the back one.
We'll never find him here.
According to Mrs. Lang's notes, he goes racing Tuesdays and Saturdays, and he has a stand seat.
It's too public. Why don't you just give Mrs. Lang her money back?
Look, Marty, I can't afford to turn down a fee like this one. Come on, we'll check.
It's going to go close to this green Hoopla, and Royal Flush is going to be Hoopla. It is. Hoopla just held Royal Flush.
There, that must be it.
Lucky.
Oh, fancy that.
Doesn't prove anything.
It proves his wife was telling the truth.
It could be his secretary.
Could it? Take a closer look.
Now, why should he do that? In broad daylight with 10,000 witnesses. There's something very wrong here.
Well, perhaps we'll find out what it is at the Pelican Club tonight.
Suivi, numéro 5.
Open. Yes, I'm in. Enjoying the game?
Yes.
You've been here over an hour.
That long?
Some of the players don't like to be watched.
And there's an empty chair, right?
That's right.
Well, seeing as you put it so nicely, maybe I'll sit in for a couple of hands.
How much there?
90, but...
No, it's a big game, friend. 90. I hope you're lucky.
Who's the new face?
I don't know, but it's got a long nose.
Going to get Lang?
Maybe. There's only one way to find out.
Ten.
Wait. 10 and raise 10.
I'm in. No. Cards. 3.
3. 1.
2. Dealer takes 3. No.
Okay. 20 more.
Call.
Nope. Flush.
Beats my 3/8.
You're not going.
Any objections?
You to bed. Not me. Just not my night.
Well, he threw in. Then he must be tailing me. No one throws in 4 aces. Good night, sir.
You're leaving early, aren't you, friend?
Funny you should rush off so sudden. I'm trying a new system.
Now, fancy that. Now, that was clumsy of me.
Wasn't your fault, Harry. You walked right into it.
What's your game?
It was an accident. After all, you didn't really have a reason for leaving so early, now did you?
Like following the bus, for instance?
Bus?
I like a joker, don't you, Bryn?
Yeah. Pretending not to know Mr. Lang's business.
And it's a business he likes to keep very secret, friend.
The law is very touchy, understand, friend?
Oh, he knows, Bryn. And I do believe he wanted to find out more. Mr. Lang hates interfering people.
Why, you don't understand.
He's going to have another accident, Harry, if he's not careful.
You should find yourself a new pastime, friend. Following Mr. Lang is like following your own funeral.
That's right. Now you're going to have another game of poker.
Look, I can't afford a game like that.
We'll lend you the money.
You better hope that you win. We only get 24 hours credit.
Full house, queens. £240. Oh, boy. And where were you all last night?
Working on the case. What else?
And?
Well, I hate to say I told you so, but Jeff, I told you so. There's a few things you ought to know about Lang.
Like he's about the biggest racketeer in town.
Yes.
And he's tied up with gambling, protection, oh, you name it.
I couldn't have put it better myself. How did you find out?
A game of poker with certain friends of his. They let me off lightly, though. £240 and the 90 I had on me.
What? You can't pay out that sort of money.
Now, why didn't I think of that?
You never were much good at poker. 2 aces and your face lights up.
Oh, thanks.
And what about Mrs. Lang? What's she really after?
I don't know. I'm having lunch with her today, and she's going to do more talking than she planned to.
You can always withdraw from the case.
And return the advance?
Oh, yeah. That's a tricky bit.
Tricky? It's impossible. I suppose I could always borrow the money.
Who from?
Morning, Jeff.
Morning, Jeannie.
From Jeannie?
Why not?
Over my dead body, that's why not.
Are you, early or just late again?
Late again, I'm afraid.
You are not borrowing from my wife.
Widow.
A technicality, Jeff, a technicality. I refuse to allow it.
You've done something with your hair.
You know perfectly well it's the same as it always is.
No, I'm trying a different shampoo.
Well, it obviously suits you.
By the way, got the percolator.
Oh, did you?
Well, it's thermostat control, fully automatic, everything.
Expensive?
It did cost a bit more, but,
What's money?
Hair security, that's what money is. I didn't pay into all those insurance policies for nothing.
You all have to make sacrifices.
sacrifices.
Oh, I was just talking to myself. Jeannie, how are you off financially, I mean?
Well, I'm not exactly desperate, Jeff, but... Well, if you could manage some of my back pay on the weekend,
It's not exactly what I meant. Ah, never mind. Look, I've got to go and get cleaned up. I've got lunch with Mrs. Lang. I'll see you later.
Okay.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Mr. Randall, how nice of you to come. I have ordered. I hope you don't mind.
Not at all. I'll have the same as the lady.
We may not have the same tastes.
I'll take my chances.
Well, have you anything to report?
When I'm paid to follow a wayward husband, it helps to know that he's also public enemy number one.
Paul?
You know the sort of people he's involved with.
Not specifically.
You must have met them.
I'm his wife, Mr. Randall, not his business manager.
You don't need a private detective. You need an assault force.
I was desperate. I knew nothing about this side of his life until I married him. Now that I do, he'll never let me go. If I can only find out about some of the things he's involved in, details, proof, then I could force him to let me leave.
Can't threaten people like Lang.
But if I had some information in a safe place, a bank perhaps,
What kind of information?
anything useful,
His files, perhaps?
or would you?
I didn't mean...
I could let you know when he's at home and keep him there while you went through his office.
I don't think I'm the right man for that.
Mr. Randall, you're the only person I can trust. I'm sure you can do it.
Shouldn't be too difficult, I suppose.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Hello, Jeff. Have you any idea what you're letting yourself in for?
We've dealt with bigger fish than Lang. Anyway, I see a point of view.
So can I. It's written all over your face. Jeff, you're getting too close.
Who's driving this motor car?
I still don't see where this is getting us.
Names, addresses, companies, it all adds up to a pattern.
But the minute you get too near him, you'll be marked. And this time they'll just play poker with you.
When they see me, it'll be because I want them to, not before. Can't be staying long. The driver's waiting.
Do you want me to take a look?
That's all right. Here he comes. What do you mean you who the girl was?
This is the only bit that doesn't add up.
Well, because he follows his wife's story?
No, because he's being so obvious about it. Watch out.
What are you hiding for?
Oh, sorry, Jeff, I forgot. I got carried away.
Well?
I'm not sure, Jeff.
If you'd have been watching, we wouldn't have lost him. Just when we had a lead on the girl.
We can always pick him up again.
The only chance we've got at that is at the Pelican Club tonight.
You can't go back there.
Why not? I've got very good reason. My credit runs out tonight. I can demand a chance to win my money back.
But they're professionals.
I can still win.
You don't stand a chance.
I don't. But we do.
You mean we... And they won't...
Exactly.
Jeff, we'll be rich.
Evening, sir. Good evening.
I'm sorry, sir, but your credit has run out. Good night. See, Randall's back. Find out what he wants.
You just spoiled my night, Randall.
Now, isn't that sad?
You were told to stay away from Lang.
Is he here? I was given 24 hours to find the money. That's just what I'm going to do. Win it. Good evening.
Trouble?
He thinks he can balance the books.
Does he now? Pass the word. I want him down another 200.
You sure this game isn't too rich for your blood, Randall?
Let's just say I feel lucky tonight.
Pair of aces, Jeff. How much have you got there?
15.
All right. That's what we'll start with. Not for me.
Come on, Jeff, come on. You've got two pair.
I'm in.
Pass. Don't worry, Jeff. Pair of tens, that's all. Rubbish.
Wait.
Cards.
I'll stay with these.
Just the one.
He's just got the two aces, Jeff. He's trying to worry you.
3.
We'll trust you for 200 more, Mr. Randall. You'll just sign this.
Thank you. You to speak?
I don't want you out of this game too quickly, Mr. Randall. 20 more.
20 and 20 more.
This one's squeezing the spots off them, Jeff. I can't see them.
What's the matter, friend? Nervous?
Your view? 2, mine. Thanks, Jeff. He's still got the pair of tens. If he does bet, he's bluffing.
20.
He's bluffing.
And 20 more.
Hello, Jeff. They're trying to squeeze you out.
I don't think you're as strong as you make out, Mr. Lang. And 50.
No. That showed him.
Coward. Okay. You're called, Mr. Randall. What are you trying?
Not trying anything. Queens and 3s. Tried sticking on your big pair in. Thought so. I've got a feeling I'm going to do a lot of that tonight. They're your cards. I could hardly mark them.
I think I'm going to enjoy this game, Jeff. They thought they were going to take you for 200. Fools. Come on, deal the cards.
It looks like being a long night.
That's nice. And dear, dedicated Mr. Randall.
Getting in deeper all the time.
Good. By tomorrow, he should be just about ready. The perfect suspect.
Well, the perfect murder. Oh, come on, Randall.
I'm just wondering what you've got.
The only way to find that out is by paying.
3 nines.
And?
The dealer has a small straight.
I'd say 3 of something, medium weight. But I'll go 50, just to make you happy.
See you.
And me.
Flush to the queen.
You're wasting your time, Randall. With your luck, you should play the stock markets. Well, let's wrap it up.
Brent.
So 200 for the loan. 240 for the check. Leaves me a profit of 208.
Harry, give the man 208 pounds. I'm happy to oblige you, Mr. Randall.
200. I'm sure you are.
And 8.
Thank you. And good night. Had a bad night's work. You know something, Marty? I think it's going to be a beautiful morning.
Honestly, Jeff, I don't know why you bother to rent your place.
That's habit, I guess.
What's this?
Ah, that's your back pay.
Oh, Jeff.
Oh, easy come, easy go.
Someone's early.
Randall and Hopkirk. Randall speaking.
Oh, yes, Mrs. Lane. Okay, yes, I'll meet you. You made it sound urgent.
It is. It's about Paul. Today might be the best chance we'll have.
Best chance for what, Mrs. Lane?
You know, Jeff, about getting the proof I need. Paul will be out of town all day.
You're sure about that?
Positive. Here's the address of his office. He keeps all his papers there. The safe's behind the bookcase.
How do I open that?
Combinations on the back of the card.
628143.
You'll go.
Yeah, I'll go.
Now.
Why not? The sooner I get it over, the better.
Oh, Jeff, that's marvelous. I'll wait until I hear from you then.
If I'm lucky, this afternoon.
Ciao.
Waiter,
Madam.
could I have a telephone, please?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Hello, darling. Randall's on his way. Surprise him for me.
I don't like it, Jeff. It's all too pat. The trouble with women is they always take you for a sucker. The trouble with that is they're always right. Shh. Hey? What are you shushing me for? Nobody will hear me. I'm a ghost. Jeff.
Wait a minute, man. This thing's full of money.
And you're caught opening it.
Right.
It's Lang. Out of town, she said.
Yeah. We better get out of here.
Our caller was right.
Yes, sir. And I've seen this man hanging around before.
Look, you've got this all wrong.
Breaking and entering, eh?
Look, you've got it all wrong.
Better take a look at this, sir.
They're going to take some convincing, Jeff.
And that's your entire explanation, Randall?
Yes. And you can check it out.
What a good idea. We never have thought of that.
Now, look, Inspector. I've been a licensed investigator for a long time now. Is it likely that I'd pull a crazy stunt like that?
Yes, you had the right motive for it.
Jeff, ask him about Mrs. Lang. She's got to be tied up in it somewhere.
Yeah, what about Mrs. Lang? If you get her up here, we'll have the whole thing cleared up in minutes.
She'll be here, Randall. We may be slow, but we get there eventually.
Do you want me to book him, sir?
There's plenty of time, Russell. Yes? Oh, fine. Bring her up right away, will you? Mrs. Lang is on her way up.
Good. It's about time this mess was cleared up.
Go easy on her, Jeff. There's no point in antagonizing her straight away.
All right, all right.
Come in. Ah, do please sit down, Mrs. Lang.
Mrs. Lang? Now, just a minute, Inspector. That's not Mrs. Lang. That's just his girlfriend.
How dare you?
She's Mrs. Lang, all right, sir.
I told you, Jeff. All the time I said she was wrong.
Mrs. Lang, have you ever seen this man before?
Of course she hasn't.
No, Inspector. Never.
If the woman who hired me wasn't Mrs. Lang, who was she?
And how do we start finding her? No one saw you together.
The waiter at the hotel. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Wait a minute. How does she know about the club? And Lang being suspicious?
Well, Lang must have told... Oh. She's not Lang's wife. How could she, though?
Maybe someone from the Pelican Club.
The manager, Alan Corder.
Right.
It has to be. This thing's been set up from the very beginning.
How do we prove it?
No chance while I'm in here.
Well, once the inspector checks your story out, he'll realize it's circumstantial enough to let you go.
I can't wait that long. Look, Marty, you'll have to get over to the club, stay with the manager until you can find something to help me.
Right.
To the new regime.
Partnership.
Of course.
Don't ever forget, darling. We've got too much on each other to be greedy.
I've always considered you to be Paul's most valuable asset. I don't mind sharing the rest. How about Randall?
Safely behind bars. And in an hour or so, his client will cease to exist.
Yes, it was a risk, you coming here at all. The sooner you're out of that lot, the better.
What lot?
Oh, I had to see you. It would have been worse if I'd risked coming as... You know, it's getting very cold in here.
As what? Coming as what?
I'll switch the heating on.
Never mind about the heating.
It'll be all right.
I'd better be going before the club opens.
Will I be seeing you later?
We have to celebrate the partnership, don't we?
What does she mean? Coming as what?
Is there anything I can bring you, Jeff?
3 pounds of plastic explosive and a submachine gun would come in very handy.
There's no chance of bail?
Now, don't worry, we'll work something out. They've only got circumstantial evidence.
You know, of course, that the gun which killed Lang was the same as one used in the shooting in Sycamore Street.
Well, my fingerprints can't be on it.
It's funny you'd seen of that crime as well. And fingerprints do wipe off.
I could only find that woman.
Inspector, look, give me 3 hours, that's all.
Out of the question.
Now look! You've already said that the gun that killed Lang was fired before. Now whoever fired those shots must have got the wrong man. And I can prove I hadn't even heard of Lang then.
So you say?
I spent the night here, remember? And my Mrs. Lang didn't come to our office until the next morning after she'd read about me in the papers.
It's true, Inspector.
3 hours, and I'll lay it in your lap.
Mr. Randall.
It's all right. The police have finally come to their senses. You can check.
No, I'm sorry. It was just a surprise. Do they know who did kill Paul?
It's just a matter of time. In fact, Mrs. Lane, you may be the key to it all.
Me?
Yes, I think you know the woman who came to see me. Tall, attractive, blonde.
But why should I know her?
Because she knows a lot about you. Maybe she's a maid or a friend who comes here often.
I see.
Thank you.
Tall, slim and blonde.
Right.
There is someone, but I can't see how. Whiskey?
Thank you. Who, Mrs. Lane?
My sister. She's been staying with me for the past 2 weeks. But I'm sure she... And yet she does fit your description.
When could I see her?
She should be home quite soon. Perhaps you'd like to wait.
I certainly would. Thank you.
Very well, but I do hope you're wrong, Mr. Randall. If you'll excuse me for a few moments.
Certainly.
You know, you're a very difficult person to keep track of. I've searched every cell in London.
What happened at the Pelican Club?
You're Susan Lang and the manager. They did it all right. But I couldn't find out much about the girl.
You mean Mrs. Lang's sister?
Sister?
I've been working too, you know. She'll be here in a few minutes.
Are you sure about that, Jeff?
That's the only answer.
He's here now. Look, we can't risk him leaving. He's getting too close.
How did he find out?
Does that matter, darling? He's expecting my sister. When you ring the bell, I'll make certain he answers the door.
Well, if you think that's the only way.
I do. Randall knows too much. But we can't have him talking to anyone. Now, can we?
How long ago did she leave the club?
About half an hour.
It's not far away. She must have gone somewhere else.
Come to that, what's Mrs. Lang doing? She's been gone for ages. I'd like to take a look at that.
I apologize for keeping you waiting, Mr. Randall. Is your drink all right?
That's fine, thank you. I'm sorry to intrude on you at, well, such a bad time.
If my sister was involved, then I want to know. You're a private detective.
That's right, Mrs. Lane.
Well, we'll soon find out whether or not my sister hired you.
Jeff, she bothers me. I don't know, her aura's all wrong. Well, I'm going to take a look in there. Jeff! Watch what you're doing! Jeff, it's her. She's both of them. I've just seen her disguise.
Blonde wig, eh?
You're right. He does know.
Question is, what are we going to do with him?
Oh, I think I have a solution. I know a disused lime quarry in Kent. Lime has a very fast chemical reaction on the human body, Mr. Randall. But I suppose you know that. And your disappearance might make the police reconsider their decision. Well, shall we go? It's rather a long drive.
All right, Jeff. Don't say anything. I know. Get some help. Get some help. If only you knew how difficult it was!
Is there anyone there? Is there anyone present who wishes to communicate with me? I feel a presence.
What's all this then? A convention? Are you all ghosts?
Spirits.
And you can just push off. Push off?
I have a message for Edna. Do we have an Edna with us?
Look, you don't understand. This is an emergency.
It always is.
Take your place in the queue.
No gate crashing here.
Oh. Are you all waiting then? It'll only take a minute. That's what they always say. Get to the back of the queue.
He tells you not to worry, Edna. He is happy, and everything will go well with you during the coming month.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
Get behind.
You don't understand. I'm working on a case. It's essential that I get a message through.
Well, that's a new one.
They'll try anything once.
But it's true.
I've been on a waiting list for 3 months. You can take your place like the rest of us.
3 months? This is urgent. I've got to get a message through to the police. All I want to do is to borrow your seance for 1 minute.
I have been waiting 3 months. Why can't you find your own seance?
It's a matter of life and death.
And what's that supposed to mean?
But supposing it's true.
Nonsense.
Well, I think it's logical.
He isn't even a regular.
Well, I think we should put it to the vote.
Vote? Now you're being ridiculous.
Who's in favour?
No. We cannot vote on a thing, vote on a thing like this. We'll take our turn. No. We cannot vote on a thing.
Is anybody there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Good. I've got a very urgent message that you must pass on immediately. I want you to call the police. A man is going to be shot.
Yes. Who? Spiritualist Society. Randall? Yes. Yes. I've got it.
End of the line, Randall. Start walking. And I wouldn't try anything if I were you. I can just as easily shoot you here. Out. Jeff! Look out!
Jeff, are you all right? Can you hear me?
Of course I'm all right. I know you got me out of it, but if you hadn't... Jeannie. I'm sorry. I was dreaming about Marty.
You still think about him too? You know, Jeff, the sooner you accept that you'll never see him again, the better. Really.